The show has begun with Connor and Dom. It's the Decon Chamber.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Trekkies and Trekkers, welcome back to this, our last watch party of Season 1, Episode 26, Shockwave, Part 1. I am your co-host, Dominic Keating, joined by, joined by this fella, my co-host, my bestie, Mr. Connor Trinneer. Hello, mate. So this episode closes our first season, and it was written by Rick and Brannon. It's directed by the fantastic Alan Croker, who I did try and get. We'll try and find him for future episodes. He was a terrific director. It co-stars Matt Winston as Daniels, John Fleck, the incomparable John Fleck as the dastardly Silik, Vaughn Armstrong as Admiral Forrest, and James Horan as Future Guy. All very do. It's a hell of an episode.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. First fun fact, a bit of trivia. This is the first and last and only time that they had a cliffhanger at the end of a season 1 of the Legacy shows.
I did not know that.
I did not know that too till I looked it up on Memory Alpha. They had other cliffhangers in other shows, but they came in the second and third seasons and whatever. So this was, this was a first, and I think it's, the end of it. If we jump right to the end, certainly has echoes of 9/11 and the World Trade Centers, and it's all, rather dark, really.
Dour
And quite somber. But
it doesn't start out that way.
It doesn't start out that way at all. It's rather amusing, the beginning, the teaser. So we come across a mining colony. What are they called? The Paraagans, something like that. Yes, the Paraagan 2 colonists.
Yes.
A matriarchal society where we understand the men are making great strides.
But in the last decade, the Paraagan males have made great strides to acquire equal rights.
They
just got the vote.
Yes. Quite witty. So we want to go and visit them, and in our usual sort of gung-ho fashion. So off we go in the Shuttlepod, and I'm driving. We are aware that there is a danger. Do you want to fill them in on the danger?
Yes, the danger. What is the product?
Tetrazine, isn't it? So when the mining operation releases, I guess it's a gas called tetrazine, which floats sort of, I don't know, a few thousand feet up in their atmosphere.
So at 50 kilometers, your rule book says that you should shut the plasma
ducts down because it runs the risk of igniting this tetrazine.
Exhaust plasma is about the only thing hot enough to ignite it.
And you decide that you're going to do it at 75 kilometers.
I do.
Safe.
As a safe play.
To be on the safe side, I'm going to lock them off at about 75.
And unfortunately, it would seem that wasn't good enough, because all of a sudden, boom, and we ignite the entire, planet, or at least that section of it.
3,600 people.
3,600 people perish in the fireball.
No buildings, no trees, no people.
That's impossible.
And the Shuttlepod is hurtled out of the atmosphere.
One of the things they'll never understand, is that we didn't have seatbelts.
No, and I have to say, and I took umbrage. Someone somewhere recently said that the Shuttlepods looked hanky. Who was it? I can't remember. Someone in some comment somewhere said, it might have been on the morning feed on the day the show airs. I mean, the inside of them, I guess the struts that lift the the doors up and down do look a bit like they're, sort of, barely good enough to lift a shopping cart.
I never felt that one time in
You
looking
never
at.
did? No. I mean, I banged my head on them enough times, and let me tell you, they're bloody
Yeah.
real.
Right, right.
Yeah. So anyway, big explosion, and we really have truly effed up, it looks like. Back on the ship. So that's the teaser. And back on the ship, we're sort of, going back over what happened. And
Well, we walk into this mid scene where it seems to be the first time, because it happened to Trip a lot, that Malcolm has messed up.
I closed both ducts. Any kind of malfunction would have triggered an alarm. 2 alarms. There are backups to prevent these kinds of accidents. The ducts were closed.
yeah, and rumbled, truly. Yeah, and it's all fingers are pointing at Malcolm for not having shut the plasma ducts down in time. If he shut them down at all, or at least I think it's the right one that we think set it off. But I'm absolutely, positive and recalcitrant in my positivity that I, you know, operated the ducts properly, and this was something else entirely that caused this.
It's not that.
But all fingers point to us having been the culprit. Before we know it, this has got to be reported to Starfleet, and Archer goes in to take that call with Admiral Forrest, which doesn't go well.
You realize they'll undoubtedly bring the Vulcans into this. Sorry, John.
He's got a report now to Saval, and the likelihood is, we don't know what the likelihood is going to be, but
you can see on his face that he carries a lot of guilt about this.
Yeah, about the death of 3,600 people.
Yeah.
And, this is not what we're out in space to do. And it's a good scene, that opening scene. I mean, you said to me the other day, you said you'd seen it, and I'd forgotten, that Malcolm's, he holds his own, but it's shaky, and and there's doubt in his eye.
Yeah, you stand up for yourself, and you're convinced that you followed the protocols, and that Archer has a significant amount of doubt on his face.
Yeah,
whether or not that's the case.
Then you'd better start re-examining those logs, because something doesn't add up here.
And then don't we shortly go into this, what doesn't make any sense, that the tetrazine levels were so low that it wouldn't have happened.
The tetrazine levels were less than 3 parts per million.
Yes, and the analysis shows that the borocarbons in the atmosphere that then enforces the probability that it was the shuttle plasma ducts that caused the explosion. But I still don't believe that this is possible.
I don't care whether that probe picked up traces of bread pudding. Both our plasma ducts were locked down, and there were no leaks in the system.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. There's something queer. Forrest has called the meeting with the Vulcans. There's that nice scene between Jolene, T'Pol, and Phlox in the sickbay, and she sort of ruminates on, is the captain fit to lead the ship because he's in such a state of emotional distress.
I've tried to remind him that this was an accident, but his responses have been illogical.
Yeah, he's having all the feelings.
Yeah, and Phlox is John's great, isn't he? And it's just lovely that he explains, to a Vulcan the meaning of being human, and that it would be queer and odd if he didn't have these feelings and be suffering from grief.
It would be unnatural for the captain not to be affected by grief.
He also pulls a, oh, you Vulcans.
To be Vulcan.
Oh, yeah, you Vulcans. It's a lovely line. Is it your line at the beginning of it all? Here we are making history every light year.
We're making history with every light year.
Is that,
I repeated to him.
Yes. Where does that come in? Because I wrote that down as a great line.
It's in the teaser.
It's in the teaser, and it
foreshadows what's going to happen later.
It's us making our decision to go down and see these colonists, and you know again the gung ho-ness, making history with every light year. So
yeah,
I think it's a great line.
Yeah.
I did write that down. So that about does Act 1, doesn't it? So no, we come back to after Paul's scene with Phlox in the sickbay, Forrest then tells Archer that dun dun dun,
the mission's been cancelled.
You've been recalled, and Starfleet are bringing Enterprise home. You guys are not ready for this yet. It could be another 10, 20 years before we're even allowed to set foot out into deep space. Act 2, Reed to the rescue, as it were, won't let this drop. He finds a rather interesting and unusual EM signature that warrants further investigation on the Shuttlepod.
Could be anything.
Mr. Reed felt you'd be interested.
And then a nice scene when Jolene to Paul goes to visit Archer, and he's throwing his water polo ball around, which always indicates rumination.
Right.
With the captain.
That's how I solve problems.
That's how the dog's licking his face, and he's chucking a water polo around.
This has got to be the first time a Vulcan has ever attempted to cheer up a human.
The oddity of a Vulcan trying to cheer up a human being.
Yeah, he said basically.
It's a lovely line. That I've forgotten that.
It's the first time in history that a Vulcan tried to cheer up a human.
It's a nice little touch. That
right.
Wait, I have to say, not easily done. Doing lines and throwing the ball up, catching it on the line. It's a bit like eating. It's about like an eating scene.
Yeah,
and he did it rather well, I have to say. And
because for the audience, you have to remember that you have to match this. So he was always so good at this, eating and this scene as well, where I know he planned this.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Every up and down, every ball to the back of the knee to make the mark on the line.
Yeah.
It's to make it look so natural and easy is man, and to think he was 50 at the time. I mean, I remember saying chippily, God, that's old. He turned 50 on the show.
But not in the first season.
He was probably 49 in this, 48 and a half, 49. Yeah, he was in great shape.
Yeah.
And we watched Desert Crossing. You just see, I don't know how he did it, man. I mean, he had 2 small kids that he attended to, particularly Will and
Owen.
Owen was a particularly tricky kid at night, wouldn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
And and he was up half the night. Scott wasn't the sort of father that would just go, "Hey, wifey, go and take care of that. I've got to work at 6 a.m." He was
it was a few times at least. Once he had sort of shared that Owen didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Of course, it foreshadows my own experience as a father, but that, we'd walk into work at 6, 7 in the morning, and I'd be like, how did you get any sleep? And he'd be like,
not really. And he'd have a full work day, and this one, we're going to get to it, but you've got a scene with him which is laden with techno-bab.
Then all you'll have to do is renormalize the tertiary wave functions.
When you're figuring out the beacons and the quantum math physics of that is...
It's in the blooper reel of season 1.
Is it really? I forget. Did you just hash that?
I was going to say. But I'll also have we passed the point where Trip also has this nice scene with Phlox where he's telling him that we have to go home, and Phlox is all sort of
Yes.
like jolly about the idea. And
I'm sure an equally adventurous opportunity will present itself.
Always look on the bright side of life.
that's right.
Do. Who knows? You might go home and open up a chestnut roasting store, sir.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice scene, and
Jolly old Phlox.
yeah. And I think Trip's attitude to the whole, recall is nicely played, mate. And
Okay.
yeah, just right on the nose of it. Enough indignation and just general, real upset and somewhat furious that we're still being, collared.
Yeah, that
by the
scene with
Vulcan.
Jolene in the captain's office where he's like, "We're going home," and Trip is like,
Yeah.
"What?
I can't believe you're letting them do this to us. You've waited all your life to command this ship."
I love that as you leave I noticed as you left the ready room, you have that brief pause before you walk out the door. Did you?
Yeah.
I love a brief pause.
Yeah. I remember saying to Alan, "Can I just almost go out and then
want to go back in and say something else?"
know that I can't?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like,
Stuff. Yeah, I noticed that, mate. So where are we? She's trying to cheer him up. Yes, so then before we know it, T'Pol leaves and he puts the water polo down, turns the lights off, and the next thing we know, he goes to bed, turns the lights off, and suddenly he's back on Earth in San Francisco.
Yeah.
In either his apartment block or a holding hotel room prior to 10 months back to the beginning of the season, prior to us about to board the ship and make our maiden voyage. And it's rather well done, that.
It is, he dials up the woman from the Federation.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Phlox. He's assigned to Starfleet Medical here in San Francisco.
To ask about
Starts to piece together that,
do we have a Denobulan doctor waiting? Yeah. And
Yeah.
yes, we do.
And we didn't know anything about that.
And no, exactly. And he pieces it all together that this is like, wow.
I didn't even know Phlox existed before they brought Clang in.
Yeah.
Where am I? What is going on? And before he knows it, Daniels appears, Matt Winston.
This must be very disorienting. I apologize, but I had no choice.
Daniels had been on the show earlier in season 1, hadn't he? And I'm trying to think what episode that was in. I was always very jealous of him coming on. He's such a good actor, and he just got great, stuff to do.
Yeah.
And he filled those boots really well.
He did. He was wonderful.
He really was, and had just the right look.
Yeah.
And he's very clever at being very still in the camera.
Indeed.
Yeah. And just what, his natural gravitas was always apparent, because it's not an easy part to pull off.
No, think about it this way. He's supposed to be very grounded. He's supposed to have, as you said, gravitas, and we'd seen him one other time, so he had a little bit of experience with us. But yeah, that's a tough road to hoe when you're walking into a set and you're supposed to be that kind of character.
Yeah.
And to own it and to put that out there.
Yes, because you actually, in many respects, he suddenly becomes the king of the show.
Yeah.
He is the all-seeing. And when you come in as a guest star and you don't know anyone and you've got to act like you're bigger and better than the rest of you, that takes some acting chops to bring that off. When you go action. And I look, and Scott, I'm sure, was as glorious with him as he was with everyone. So I'm sure he put him.
But he has some really nice nuances in his delivery and in his character that, what it would be, he did such a nice, he colored to the edges.
Yeah. Yeah, really good, nice performance. And like I say, there's not an actor dead or alive I'm not jealous of. I love that expression.
How do you fill all of this in your head?
I don't know, mate. It comes and goes.
Yeah.
So nice scene with them 10 months back, and Daniels fills him in and says it's not a dream, and I've brought you back here so that we can talk in peace. And it turns out that someone has been tampering with the timeline, because the explosion that our plasma ducts apparently
It's never
ignited
recorded.
was never meant to happen.
Yeah. Or it didn't happen. It wasn't recorded.
No, it wasn't exactly. It wasn't recorded.
Someone violated the temporal accord.
So then Archer gets sent back to the present and confirms that the Shuttlepod was sabotaged to emit a plasma stream. And I'm going to find the device that was the culprit.
It was just where we detected the EM signature. But I don't understand. It was completely invisible.
Of course, Paul thinks he's absolutely doolally.
Yeah.
I traveled through time, and I need you to believe me.
He pleads, he beseeches her to please believe me. I'm not mad. I have taken a time jump, and everything I'm telling you happened, and this is truth. So.
And Jolena was always so good at literally doing hardly anything.
Hardly anything.
But to exhibit like doubt.
She could do the eye. She could do the eyebrow.
I don't remember accusing you of anything.
She would exhibit doubt, especially in this scene, and that's all it took.
Yeah. And again, always jealous of an actor that can do that eyebrow. You don't have to act. You just do the eyebrow. You literally, it just cuts through.
When I was in drama school, we in one of our acting classes, we literally had to practice for a week.
The eyebrow.
Raise your eyebrow.
I've gorilla taped mine down. It won't work.
No.
Can't do it. So Archer talks to Paul about the advanced quantum engineering that he learned from Daniels that we need to put together, and that's when he comes to you for season blooper number 1.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't number 1, but no, we're standing at the monitor, and he says something, and I'm supposed to say whatever gobbledygook I'm supposed to say.
Yeah.
And I just went like,
you'll have to isolate the subassembly tolerances from the emitter algorithms.
Whoa, hold on a minute.
Yeah, not a clue.
I have no idea.
And we're going ahead of ourselves. Apparently, so the sabotage device is Suliban technology. We've established that by now. And then Captain and I, Reed, go to Daniel's former quarters to find a holographic database to get the specs of the Cloaked Suliban ship.
Why did Daniels leave it in his quarters?
I don't recall him having much time to pack before he left.
I like that walking and talking scene with Scott.
Yeah.
It was rather good.
And you wind up being a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, I love, and yeah, as soon as I see once I get on board, there's all these schematics of the Klingons, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
They've got schematics on half a dozen different Klingon ships.
And he's like, Malcolm, just the Suliban stuff.
Yeah.
The stealth cruiser, Lieutenant, nothing else.
We get the specs of the cloaked suit. So we find out that the Suliban ships, or the ship that caused this explosion, was cloaked. We plot a course to where Daniel said the cloaked ship would be, and so we get there, and we get to see, without them knowing that we can see them, where they're parked up.
But they have no idea we can see through their cloak.
So we unmask them, we plot a course, we find them, and Reed. So then it's up to me. I hit it precisely. It's rather good, this bit where I shoot the photon torpedo underneath and get right underneath them to disable it. As Archer, yourself, and Paul board the Suliban ship. I mean, Herman did an amazing job with that set.
He did.
It really was fantastic, wasn't it? Because it was.
I don't know how he did it.
Do you remember it? Because I never got to work on it, but it was pretty extensive, wasn't it? It looked extensive.
I just don't know how he did that.
Amazing. I mean, it really was. I loved it. All the sliding, doors, as it were, the floor doors, and I tell you what, there were a couple of things in that. I mean, the CGI of the Suliban on the ceiling that all get blown up by the stun grenade, and then drop like cats and dogs to the floor. And then our real life Suliban, whoever they were, God bless them, the extra actors that played them. I don't know who taught them or coached them, but their stealth walk or Suliban, nefarious glide was really bang on. I really liked it.
Their version of the slee stacks.
Yeah. Where are we? We plugged.
Well, I'll also say one thing about that set. Anytime you had an open hole with a ladder that you were meant to go down, you'd look at that thing and go, "Oh, geez," because you don't want to look like an idiot.
No, making those moves, and invariably there would only be 3 feet underneath it.
Yeah,
that you'd have to get into. So because it would be like 3-4 feet off the floor.
Right.
And we were pretty agile, I have to say.
I mean, I love how Scott comes down those stairs, jumps about halfway down it to the floor, and then goes in and grabs the discs.
Yes. Yeah, beautifully done. One thing that crossed my mind was he knows exactly how to work a Suliban, techno plate. Did you notice that?
Yeah, we only had a 45-minute show. Sometimes you just got to swallow that.
Sometimes you just got to swallow it. He went to Suliban Tech Plate School, and he knew exactly which way to. Yeah. Anyway, so he grabs the disc. They retrieve the data disc. Reed fires more to cover them, and you
got these great little grenades.
So and I'd forgotten this bit. So we're still locked on to the bottom of the Suliban ship, or at least you guys are in the Shuttlepod, and they've got down in time to activate the or deactivate the unlocking device.
Yeah, to vacuum it in.
And you can't get away, but you're flying the ship, and Captain just says pedal to the metal, mate.
Gun it.
Yeah, and you rip it off, and 2 Suliban die mercilessly.
Oh, I know.
Fly out of the hole of their ship, and you break free. So we get to Act 4, and Hoshi and Temporal can interpret the disk's data.
There are sensor logs that tracked our course, our altitude, even our hull temperature.
From the disk, we find out that all along, a Suliban ship, Cloaked, had crept up underneath our Shuttlepod as we went down to Paraagan 2, and attached this little device to the end of our plasma.
They're there for 2 minutes, and they have enough time to get that on the Shuttlepod.
Just long enough to attach this and cloak it.
And Scarpa.
Yeah. Back up a little bit. I really thought that scene was nice in the ready room where we're all there, and he tells us what our assignments are. And I walk up and I'd say, "Sir," and he goes, "We didn't do it. It wasn't us."
Sir? It wasn't us, Trip. We didn't do it.
Yeah, nice scene.
The whole thing was nice. He's finally back on his feet. So I digress, but that was
no, it's nice, and the resolve and relief that that we're not complete fuck ups. I mean, because I think that's the heavy burden, isn't it? That we're the first out there, and everybody's looking at us. And we brushed over that. The thought of us going back to planet Earth with our Starfleet tail between our legs, to suffer the ignominy of you messed up, and not just little, but the shame of it, and you killed 3,600 colonists, by the way. And And yeah, it's a big episode. It's a big episode. It's a good episode to end the season on, I have to say. And the fact that they made it a cliffhanger is yeah, it was a smart idea. And the fact that it foreshadows season 3, albeit one season early, that we're already looking at what had just happened in America in real time with the World Trade Center event and 9/11, and we'll get there. So they interpret the disk's data. The ship did dock with us and attach the mysterious device, and then back at the ranch,
they boarded a cloaked vessel and they knew exactly where to find the discs.
That smirky smile he carries all the time,
magnified by the wonderful makeup and prosthetics that allowed him to be able to do that.
Yeah, and he's so he's suddenly up in front of the boss, future guy.
You know what happened the last time you failed me.
I never met him, I don't believe.
James Horan? No, I don't think I ever. No, I'm sure he probably shot alone. I can't think.
Maybe.
I can't think that they would have shot them on the same stage, because he
would have
was
been possible.
No, he was in front of a green screen for sure. He was shot alone somewhere. Yeah, and knowing James Horan,
we never saw Vaughn. We never saw Vaughn.
I don't think we ever saw Vaughn. No.
I mean, I never spoke to. I mean, I met him one time, but in fact, the first time I met Vaughn in real life at a convention,
you weren't even sure he was.
I didn't know he was.
Nice.
I did find out later.
You were always a bit like that, weren't you?
I think I have that that facial recognition condition where
number 2 on the call sheet. You mean?
Maybe, but there are times when I'll meet.
Are you not good with faces? I'm great. I see faces. I'm good at names. I'm not so good with.
Your neighbor, your old neighbor who was at your wedding.
Oh, Matt.
No, the woman.
Oh, Amy.
She walks up and says hi and how's it going, and I'm like,
not a clue.
No idea.
Oh,
no idea.
Did you let on that you didn't know who she was?
No, but it did dawn on me. She started like telling the stories about, coming over to your house, and then I went, oh yeah, okay.
Anyway, we digress.
Well,
yes, Silik's got a report to Future Guy, who's pissed, and he orders him, Silik, to recapture Archer. And I guess this is actually where Temporal is skeptical of the time travel stuff, and she really questions Archer's story. But that's where he goes, you've got to believe me, my dear. I'm not cray cray, and everything I'm telling you happened. And meanwhile, on deck, on the bridge, I call the captain and say, I think you better come up here, sir, or come through. Right. We're having a lot of trouble balancing the warp field. And you come along and go, seems fine to me.
They look fine.
Well, they're not.
And you look at a couple of squiggly lines. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it's not. Turns out that we're being absolutely surrounded by just a swarm of Suliban. I mean, they look like sort of, grenades, don't they?
Yeah, they kind of look like black widow egg sacks.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, we're being surrounded by them, and they are wreaking havoc with our warp field and the balancing of it. And they're all armed to the teeth with particle weapons. We don't have a chance of even taking them on. There's just too many of them.
Yeah.
And I have to defer to that. Silik demands that Archer board his transport in 5 minutes.
If you don't comply, I have permission to destroy Enterprise.
When I watch these shows and I go, whatever they are.
Yeah.
I demand that you board my ship in 5 minutes, sir.
Clock is ticking.
Whatever that it might be.
Right. Yeah. Whatever you people call it.
Whatever you people call it. it's funny how, I mean, you've got to give, some license somewhere that we all have the same sort of, touchstones. Archer, so this is a rather moving scene where Archer's like, okay, I'm giving myself up.
Keep an eye on Porthos for me, would you?
Remember, no cheese.
He leaves T'Pol in command.
He thinks he's going to his death.
He pretty much thinks he's giving himself up to save the ship. He's going to be not just a hostage, but probably the hangman, as it were. You try and dissuade him, and he refers you to T'Pol now.
How do you know what they're going to do?
T'Pol's in command now, Trip.
It's a nice scene. But yeah, suddenly they're looking out just on this 31st century of devastation. And Daniel's great suit, by the way. Bob Blackman just outdid himself. I mean, I would wear that to the Hacienda Club any night of the week. Heaven, you name it. Great outfit. I mean, and his hair was just cut great. It was, a really nice, subtle difference between first meeting him in the hotel room, as it were, 10 months before, and now we're in the 31st century.
Yeah, I will say that Daniel's looked to me, because his hair is all the way it was, and his uniform, whatever he's wearing, I just thought, these are the aliens from Galaxy Quest when they dress up.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
Were we before? No, the Galaxy Quest came before us, didn't it?
Yeah.
I love you. So anyway, there's the two of them.
Well, Daniel says that something about that this happened like 300 years ago.
It looks like it happened a long time ago.
He basically says this didn't happen.
Daniel Zizek explains that the ruined city used to be a beautiful 31st century city, and explains that somehow saving Archer made something go horribly wrong in the temporal war or timeline.
And then Archer says, I'd like to go back and I'll take my chances with Silik.
But unfortunately, because of the temporal snafu, all portals have been destroyed. And there is, no way to send him back. You are stuck here with me in my...
What a great shot, though, coming off of...
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Profile, and then coming out to see the destruction.
Rather chilling, really, when you think about what's going on in Gaza at the moment, and
all around the world.
All around the world, yeah. Ukraine.
And then that's the episode. I do want to sort of do a little bit of a recap, at least of my opinion on the first season. I think that we did an extraordinary job, and I'm not patting myself on the back. I think that we put this show on skis and we went straight downhill. And everybody was on board and everybody was doing their job very, very well. It was nice to see the evolution of the actors playing the parts, and just have them get comfortable in their own skin and their own uniforms. And
everyone did. Everyone fleshed it out really well, quite quickly. I mean, extraordinarily quickly.
And I know that every series in the Legacy franchise, at least, it took a couple of years to get your sea legs. Now, I didn't feel that about our show, and I don't think you've got gilded glasses on when you tinted glasses when you say that. We've watched these shows now pretty extensively, and I'm not dissing the others, but no, I think some of them took a minute or two to get, as you say, their sea legs. Yeah.
And their pilots, other than Deep Space Nine's pilot, which was pretty passable, I will say, but Voyager's pilot, I gotta say, not so much. Next Gen's pilot, I mean, it could be Monty Python, frankly. I'm not joking. I mean, it's there on the screen to watch.
You're right.
Exactly. And our pilot
and so many people have walked up to me and said, it takes all the shows a couple of years. And now that I've really gone through our show consistently in order, sorry, that wasn't our case.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, I mean, some of the episodes were were maybe evocative, or that's a kind word, derivative, maybe a bit more on the nose of past Star Trek episodes. I've got a funny feeling that one faction of the writing room wanted to modernize or move with the time, and I think the head honcho was like, I've got 3 shows behind me that says it ain't broke.
No, I mean, I don't. It must have been in season 2 when I did this, but I pitched a few stories and did some spec teasers with a buddy of mine and delivered them. I think we did 4 stories, and they said, "Thank you, but that's not Star Trek way." And I was like, "Huh, okay." And then I swear to God, over the course of 3 seasons more, a couple of the ideas that I'd thrown out there got
certainly showed up in some sort of guise.
Yeah. Maybe
Well,
it's out there in the zeitgeist, but maybe not.
I pitched 1 or 2 with a buddy of mine who was an ecologist and into all things eco, and yeah, Brannon, we didn't get either one picked up. He thought they were too preachy for the time. They were very, very, very conscious of never ramming a political idea or any sort of moralistic idea down your throat or down the audience's throat.
No.
Yeah.
I think the only person, I could be wrong, that got a script made was Picardo.
That wouldn't surprise me in the least. Right? No. Was it about him?
Yeah.
Did he sing and dance in it?
I'm sure Probably. He did. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm awfully proud of this first season.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And it's been a joy revisiting it properly, really
has.
Studying it and and getting to talk to
I watched this episode 3 times. I watched most of them twice.
Really? God bless.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty complicated, and there are still sort of holes that I have in the story because of the timeline and the future and the present but they packed it full to the rim.
This really was. It had so many moving parts, and it really, I tell you what it did do nicely was sew up the season and all the characters, the main cast. We all got to experience what that was going to feel like going home and what we might have done.
One of the great things that I think that Alan has in his toolbox as a director is he's extraordinary at tone. But I remember him of most of the directors that we would have conversations about why something was happening and what direction you should go in. And he was always right. And he managed this episode, which was very complicated, exceedingly well. That if I'd walked in and that was my first directing gig, I'd quit.
Yeah. There was a lot of storytelling, and to keep all those balls in the air and to sew them together in a lucid way so that the audience isn't like, what's going on? Because you're never in doubt about what's happening. It's just a lot is happening.
A lot of directors that I wind up working with, say as a guest star, you go in and the director literally does not direct the regulars.
No.
Like, you're fine. You're awesome.
Almost doesn't dare to. Yeah. Or doesn't. Right. Yeah.
And then comes down on the guest star.
Makes the guest star's life a
Exactly.
for 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a very good first season rather, and look forward to marching on with season 2 and Shockwave Part 2.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can't get some more directors and writers in. I'm going to try and find Alan. I tried. I went through Mary Howard. She didn't have a number. I went through Brannon. He didn't have a number. Rick might. I'll reach out to Rick and see. He might have a number in his phone for him.
Well, Dom, he's Canadian, so he's probably not going to want to come on now. But But I will say, and I want to say this to
in order for Canada to become the 51st state, England's got to let it go first anyway.
Well, that's true.
Oh.
You guys hold on to things for a long
time. We're not done with
to the audience that I want to thank you for coming along this ride with us, and I have enjoyed it. I believe that you've enjoyed it a great deal, and I'm looking forward to a second season.
Yeah, looking forward to it too. All right, mate. It's lovely seeing you. We'll speak next week.
All right, man.
Nanu.